What happens when a former president defies a court order not once, not twice, but 10 times? On the 12th day of the hush money trial, the courtroom was abuzz as Donald Trump, the former president, made his entry. Accompanied by an entourage larger than usual, the anticipation in the room was palpable. But it wasn't just the size of his entourage that caught everyone's attention. It was what happened next that set the tone for the day. Moments before heading into the courtroom, Trump accused Judge Merchan of being conflicted and complained about the judge's gag order against him. "It's a ridiculous case, I did nothing wrong, and yet the judge gags me and I'm not allowed to talk about, I guess, his total conflict," he said. "The judge has totally conflict, is totally conflicted." Trump also again slammed pro-Palestinian protesters at Columbia University, saying he saw that its commencement ceremony was canceled in the wake of the protests and claimed without evidence that many of the protesters are backed by President Joe Biden's donors. When he entered the courtroom, the drama unfolded when the judge pointed out that Trump had violated the gag order yet again. This wasn't a first-time offense, far from it. This was, in fact, the 10th time that Trump had done so. The courtroom fell silent as the magnitude of this violation sank in. The judge, maintaining an air of stern authority, turned to Trump and issued a warning. A warning that held the potential for serious consequences. He made it clear that further violations of the gag order would not be taken lightly. If necessary, jail time would be imposed. This warning was not just a mere reprimand, it was a clear signal of the seriousness of the situation, and just like that, the stage was set. The courtroom braced itself for another day of explosive testimonies and high-stakes legal battles. The air was thick with anticipation as everyone waited to see how the day would unfold. Would there be more violations? More warnings? More drama? And so, the stage was set for another day of dramatic revelations and high-stakes legal battles. Up next, a man whose knowledge of the Trump Organization's internal operations is second to none, Jeff McConney. McConney, a seasoned controller at the Trump Organization who reported directly to Weisselberg, has seen his fair share of courtroom appearances. His previous testimonies in the Trump Corporation Trump payroll trial in 2022 and the civil fraud trial against the former president at the end of the same year makes him a seasoned witness. After making a decision to leave the Trump Organization, citing exhaustion from the company's ongoing legal troubles as a key factor, McConney received a payout. His evidence revealed that his legal representation for today's courtroom appearance is being funded by none other than the Trump Organization itself. His testimony poised to unravel secrets behind the company's financial practices. Diving straight into the meat of his discourse, McConney confirmed that the organization kept a meticulous track of Trump's personal finances. This revelation hinted at the close intertwining of Trump's personal and business expenditure, a major point of contention in this trial. The courtroom hung onto every word as McConney delved into the approval process for invoices within the Trump Organization. He stated that only 3 individuals had the power to approve invoices: Donald Trump himself, Alan Weisselberg, and Matthew Calamari. The limited number of approvers, coupled with the earlier revelation about tracking Trump's personal finances, painted a picture of a tightly controlled financial operation. The plot thickened when McConney recalled a plan to pay Michael Cohen after he left the Trump Organization in 2017. The peculiarities of this transaction didn't stop there. The prosecutor emphasized just how notable it was that Cohen received $360,000 back on a $180,000 expense. This doubling of the reimbursement raised eyebrows, prompting more questions about the organization's financial practices. As McConney's testimony unfolded, it became clear that the invoice for Cohen's payment bypassed the usual approval process. It wasn't sent to the legal department for approval, a deviation from standard practice that further shrouded the transaction in mystery. McConney wrapped up his testimony with an intriguing anecdote. He recounted a scenario where a check had to be reissued after getting lost between the White House and the Trump Organization, adding another layer of complexity to the ongoing narrative. McConney's testimony painted a vivid picture of the financial practices within the Trump Organization, but the revelations were far from over. The second witness, Deborah Tarasoff, the accounts payable supervisor who had worked in conjunction with Jeffrey McConney at the Trump Organization, was summoned to the stand. Tarasoff, still a Trump Organization employee, was reportedly responsible for preparing the checks used to reimburse Cohen. and she allegedly recorded these payments as legal expenses in the company's accounting records. Tarasoff shared that she initiated her career at the Trump Organization in 2000 and has been serving there for 24 years, working on the 26th floor of the Trump Tower. But what secrets would she unfold? She took us through the check approval procedure within the organization. She highlighted that if Trump didn't want to approve a check, he would write "void" and send it back. This detail painted a clear picture of the control that Trump had over the organization's financial operations. Next, the prosecutor presented checks from Michael Cohen's reimbursement, a significant point of contention in the trial. These checks were a part of the alleged hush money that was given to Cohen, a former Trump attorney. Tarasoff's testimony brought these transactions into sharp focus, further complicating the narrative. However, the defense did not let this pass unchallenged. They focused their cross-examination on how far removed Tarasoff was from Trump, attempting to cast doubt on her direct knowledge of Trump's actions and intentions. This line of questioning aimed to undermine the credibility of Tarasoff's testimony, a common tactic in legal proceedings. But the day's proceedings were not to last long. The trial wrapped up early, leaving everyone in anticipation of what the next day would bring. As everyone was leaving the courtroom, Trump made remarks outside, indicating that he would continue to speak out despite Judge Merchan's warning about the gag order. His defiance was clear, setting the stage for more drama in the coming days. Day 12 of the trial ended with a flurry of testimonies and a defiant Trump. But what will tomorrow hold? So, after a day of bombshell testimonies, what are the key takeaways? First, former Trump Organization employee Jeff McConney confirmed that the organization's accounting tracked Trump's personal finances. Only Trump, Weisselberg, and Calamari could approve invoices, an unusual practice that raised eyebrows. The prosecution emphasized the unusual nature of Michael Cohen receiving a double reimbursement for an expense. Next, we learned that a check had to be reissued after getting lost between the White House and the Trump Organization. This detail paints a chaotic picture of the organization's financial practices. The testimony also revealed that if Trump didn't want to approve a check, he'd simply write "void" and send it back. Lastly, despite repeated warnings from the judge about violating the gag order, Trump indicated that he would continue to speak out, a testament to his defiance in the face of legal proceedings. As the trial continues, each day brings new revelations, new testimonies, and a deeper insight into the Trump Organization's financial practices. Stay tuned for more updates. Keeping track of a trial of this magnitude can be overwhelming, especially with the daily influx of new information and testimonies. If you want to stay abreast with all the latest updates, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We're committed to delivering comprehensive, unbiased reports on the case, helping you understand its implications better. Now, we'd like to hear from you. How do you think today's testimonies will influence the outcome of the trial? Do you believe the testimonies of McConney and Tarasoff have shed new light on the Trump Organization's financial practices? Or do you think they merely confirmed what many already suspected? Your perspective matters to us. Share your thoughts, opinions, and predictions in the comments section below. We're eager to hear your take on this unfolding drama, and remember, every voice counts in this conversation, so don't hold back, speak up, and stay tuned for more updates. Let's unravel this complex case together.